Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Today we are doing a video where we try to win a Stanley Cup without any elite players, without any franchise players. And before we jump into the lineup here, we're going to go out here and mention it's the 25 days of giveaway video, obviously, as well. We're continuing that along here. Today is another Nikita Kucherov giveaway for the Xbox. In order to enter, subscribe to the channel and comment down below the name of the top scorer for our team at the end of this video. So whoever leads our team in points will be the answer down below. Not sure who it is yet because we are not there. And before we show you guys this team, I gotta tell you something. I've been working on my comedy lately. I got a little joke for you guys. You ready for this? You ready for the little joke? Brad Marchand and Patrice Bergeron are only top 6 forwards. They're not elite. They're not franchise. You know, just top 6. You know, Marchand, he's the only one out there and had 85 plus points now in what, 3 straight seasons. He's already halfway there this year. Then you have Mr. Selke himself, Patrice Bergeron, again, top 6 forward. Not a big deal, I guess. You know what? It just helps our chances. But once you get past those guys, we get pretty much 86, 85, 84 overall range, starting with Teravainen on that first line. Gensel with him as well on the second. Then we have Braden Shen, Cam Atkinson, Timo Meier, Max Domi, Elias Lindholm, and then our fourth line is Anders Lee, Eric Stahl, and Josh Bailey. Had to make sure we kept a couple Islanders on there. Use that Islanders team. Remember when you guys said do a video with the Islanders? So you know what, we got it taken care of using the Islanders today and saved a couple of their players as well. And then on defense we have Keith Yandel, Ryan Ellis, Jacob Slavin, Jacob Trouba, Nicholas Yamerson, and Eric Gustafsson over there, rounding out our 6 over there on defense. For goaltending, we didn't really mess with it. We have Varlamov and we have Grice. Just kind of left the same goalies there the Islanders had. Again, 84-85. That's a pretty solid area there for goaltending. Our next challenge here is gonna be to go out and try to, I don't know, make sure all these guys are playing in an ideal spot here. Atkinson, Shen, they're all first line guys, so we can't really mess with those. Meyer, second line, Nugent Hopkins first. It looks like we have a bunch of first line type guys, and then Bailey on his second, Domi, and then Lee. So do we have a second line center in there? I don't think we have one. So we're gonna have to kind of leave the lines as they are, it looks like. We'll see how these guys do playing on the fourth line, playing on the third line, with those lower overall, or the higher rolls on the lower lines, I should say. And then on defense, we again have a bunch of top 4 guys here, and probably gonna have to leave everybody the way it is. So let's go ahead and jump into this season. New York Islanders looking to be starting the season off against those Washington Capitals. Quite the opponent to start the season. Can we start 1-0 though against these Capitals? The answer is no. Gonna start 0-2, gonna start 0-3, gonna start 0-4. Oh, are we ever gonna win a 1-5-1 team? Now the question becomes, is it really that important to make sure the rolls line up, or is it just a slow start to the season for the Islanders? Because we're bouncing back now. Started 1-5, now we're 7-5. The win streak is real and on. Just took a little bit of time for the fellas to start clicking. At the end of the day, none of them really played together, right? We just kind of threw them all in there and said, you know what, you guys are a bunch of not good enough elite / franchise players. You're gonna like this team here, and you're gonna help us win a Stanley Cup, hopefully. So 15-10, starting to play better here, coming into the end of the 2019 year, heading into 2020. I can't believe it's almost 2020. Isn't it crazy when you think like it's an entire flip of the decade? Like, it feels like nothing at the beginning, like, oh, it's 2020. But then you think like, wait a minute, we just went from 2010 all the way to 2020. Like, it's been 10 years. What's happened in the last 10 years? It's been a crazy 10 years. Hopefully everybody's able to look back and say in the last 10 years, they've accomplished quite a bit, got some of their goals reached. But here we go, heading into the trade deadline. 30, 24, and 8. Thankfully, even as much as we're struggling, we're third place in the division. We're in a weak division. I wouldn't say we're struggling, but I guess I would expect to be doing a little bit better than this. And it's really, at the end of the day, it's edgy. Edgy is not the word I'm looking for here. Right on the verge, though. It's bubbly, I guess. We're on the bubble of making playoffs. But we did make playoffs. And the team leader in points, you guys know, you got to know the answer to this one if you're interested in that giveaway. 82 points. Brad Marchand, good for him. 31 goals, 51 assists. Just beating out Bergeron. So your answer is Marchand. Make sure you comment it down below. Make sure you're subbed to the channel. You will be randomly, obviously, selected if you're the winner. And just to bring it up real quick, because I have not talked about it, I keep forgetting to bring it up, is the way we announce the winners, I just reply to a comment. And I try not to make it like really public, because we've already went through it. Like, the whole giveaway thing can technically get you banned from HUD or whatever, and I don't want to get people in trouble. So the more, I guess, incognito you can keep it, the better. So just, you know, if you comment, just pay attention to your notifications on YouTube. If you win, you'll have a reply to your comment. But anyway, continuing on here, Gensel 57, Atkinson 53, Teravainen 52, Nugent Hopkins 45, 43 out of Shen. Is he a minus? We have a couple guys in the minuses. Lindholm's one of those guys as well. It might have just been that line. Now Lee and Bailey. You know what I've noticed about Lee and Bailey? They are not very good two-way guys in this game. Like anytime I trade for them and stuff, they seem to always be a negative. And once again, they're negative this year as well. Gustafsson -1, Domi -11. There was a lot of guys. You would have expected so much better. A bunch of 85 and 86s, and we really didn't have anybody over 57 points besides our two guys that had no business being elite, or not elite, but top 6 potential. I mean, Gensel, it's not going to show us the stats anymore, but Gensel 57, that's hard to believe, really. I mean, Atkinson, I guess, it makes sense. I guess when you say Atkinson 53 points, I say, yep, I agree. That is probably realistic for him, 53 points. So maybe that's about where the 85-86 range kind of falls there. The question is, can that 85-86 range go out there and win a Stanley Cup? Take a look at the goaltending real quick. 28 and 21, 904 out of Varlamov, and 911 out of Thomas Greiss. Do not dial that number as a joke. Just throwing it out there. And we'll take a look at, let's see how our team did. 38, 30, and 14. I'm saying we barely made plus, yeah, 80, 90 points. Like I said, it was a weak division. It was a very weak division. 38 points, 14 overtime losses. What are we? All right, then. 54.9 point percentage, not what we really came for. 2.91 goals for. So the goals for is good. Second best in the division. The goals against is 2.72, which is, we're, no, 301 of the Blue Jackets. So it's not terrible, but it could be better. Maybe it was just a tough schedule. I mean, you know, every team plays every team every season, but, you know, maybe we can blame it on a tough schedule. We definitely can't. Like, let's be serious here, because the best team in our division was 97 points. So we played them the most. So it's kind of interesting that we finished with 90 points. So we'll take a look at the other divisions for a good time here. 108 out of the Sabres and the Lightning. Bruins 99, 93 out of the Canadians. Now keep in mind, we did steal some players from the Bruins. Still 99 points without Bergeron or Martian. We stole some players from a few teams, I guess, though. A lot of their mid-tier guys. Minnesota, we took Eric Stahl, right? 109 points. I guess he was holding them back. Dallas, 106. Nashville, 99. Blackhawks, 98 without Gustafsson. And then 92 for Colorado. Over there in the Pacific, we have San Jose, Edmonton, and Vancouver making plus. A bunch of 100-point teams. What you expect when you have a division as weak as ours? Going to be a lot of, you know, tougher ins into the playoffs for some of these other divisions from a point standpoint here. Let's do this, though. We're starting at Washington, so we just missed making home ice here. Let's see if we can take one from Washington. We did. We took the first one, lost in overtime. Story of our season right there. 2 overtime games. 14 overtime losses. Imagine how many times we ended up going to overtime and we had 14 overtime losses. That is crazy. That or we went 0-14 in a playoff or overtime. We had to have a lot of overtime games. 3-1 against these Capitals so far. Looking good. Can we take the series in Washington? Yes, the boys are getting hot when they need to. Round number 2. Who we got coming up here? The Penguins. Not an easy matchup. Gonna take game 1 in Pittsburgh. Again, a 2-1 game. Keep them low scoring in playoffs. That's what we like to see. There's a 3-2 loss in Pittsburgh game 2, but we stole one in Pittsburgh. That's important. You take one in Pittsburgh, you win your home games. All of a sudden, this series is ours to lose, but there it is. We lost game number 1 at home, game 3 in the series. 7-4. That's too many goals, fellas. Way too many goals. See if we can take game number 4. We do. Shutout. They appreciated my coaching. I was like, how about we don't let as many goals in? They're like, all right, sure, we'll go for a shutout. It worked. Game 5 back in Pittsburgh. That's a 1-0 shutout loss. When I said not as many goals, though, I meant that for the other team, New York. So let's go ahead and jump into game number 6. It's all or nothing here. Do or die for the Islanders, finding themselves down 2-0 early. Rust and Crosby with the goals here in the first. That is not what you're supposed to do here, Islanders. Down 3-0. The Islanders are down 3-0. Crosby on Varlamov. It's Crosby, but wow, that's a pretty high shot up there for Crosby. I think you got to make that save. There's the comeback, though. Braden Shen. Sharp angle there on Murray. Islanders still in this one. 5 minutes left in the second. Don't count them out yet. It's a 2-goal game. It's a 1-goal game. Heading into the third, Bergeron, the not-so-elite Bergeron, puts one in the back of the net. We're heading to period number 3. The Islanders are not out of this one yet. We need 1 goal. Kill off the power play first. A scary 5-on-3. Nothing, no. Shut down that Penguins power play. Islanders still in it. The momentum has to be going their way right now. You shut down a Penguins power play on a 5-on-3. It doesn't get more difficult than that unless you take another penalty like the Islanders just did and kill it off too. Our first shot of the period. 10 minutes into the third. You gotta do better than that. Come on, New York. You just killed off 3 penalties against the Pittsburgh Penguins. A big save by Murray on Gustafsson. Gustafson just sitting in front of the goalie. Not a lot going here, though, for these Islanders. Unfortunate. They tried to mount the comeback down 3 goals. They're going to pull the goalie with about a minute left, and they're going to net an empty one. And the Islanders are going to lose to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the second round. And in other words, a team of all elite or a team of all non-elite and non-franchise players cannot win a Stanley Cup. But you know what's funny? I think we still made it farther than we did in any of our, win a Stanley Cup in 1 year sims. Oh, Dallas again. You know what's happening lately is Dallas is winning a lot of these Stanley Cups. EA is falling in love with them, I think. Dallas with another cup. We'll see if we took any hardware home. I'd imagine not unless Bergeron and Marchand did. It's possible there. Art Ross going to Mickey D's. Kucherov getting a Hart Memorial. James Norris going to Doughty. The Lady Bing going to Kucherov. Calder Memorial going to Steele. Bishop, Smythe, Vezina, Dubnyk, Jennings, Jones. Something for everybody over there in the goaltending cell or area. Selke for Ryan O'Reilly. Good for Ryan O'Reilly. Killing it. Ted Lindsay going to Kucherov. We got to take a look at the points real quick. I lied. We got to take a look at the points. But we got to see what happened over here in McDavid land. He won the Art Ross. Kucherov won, was it Maurice Richard Kucherov had? I completely forget now. I think it was Maurice Richard. Or was it Ted Lindsay, not the Richard. So McDavid, 95 points. Just not a high point scoring season, I guess, in general. 92, 95. Nobody in the hundreds. We actually had, it's not our player. Pasternak's not our player. He's done 85 points without Bergeron or Marchand. That's crazy. That guy just went out there and carries anybody. Maybe that's the way EA's looking at him. Like, you don't need no Marchand. You don't need no Bergeron. That's crazy. But hey, good for Pasternak. He's a great player. Otherwise, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed the crazy goal streak he's got going, by the way, right now, too, right? Otherwise, though, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you did, a thumbs up and subscribe. I appreciate it if you did. Otherwise, thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.